Good evening. Tonight I will try to explain the chain rule. I find it a little bit tricky to explain. Hopefully it'll make sense to everyone. Um, just to get started, I'll give you guys two examples as well. And first we we have a composite function like f of g of x, and we want to take the derivative of it. And the chain rule is it's simple after you practice, but maybe not at first. F prime of g of x times g prime of x is what we're going to get with the chain rule, which means that we're going to take the derivative of the outside function, keeping the inside untouched, and we're going to multiply it by the derivative of the inside function. So let's take a look at number 1 here. The inside function is actually 5x to the 4 plus 3x, and the outside function is just basically x squared, just because we have f of x as x squared. So I'm just going to break it down here. Say, oops, paintbrush, here we go. So f of x would be x squared, and g of x is 5x to the 4 plus 3x. Okay, so first we're going to take basically the derivative of f of x, which is just 2x. Hopefully that makes good sense. And keeping the g of x inside untouched. So this is going to be looking like this. 2 of x, or rather, sorry, 2x, and x in this case is going to be g of x, which is 5x to the 4 plus 3x. So see how I just actually took the derivative of the outside function, keeping the inside untouched. Now we're going to have to multiply this by the derivative of the inside function, which is g of x. And the derivative of this guy will be, I'm going to be bringing the 4 down, multiply by the 5, and subtract 1 from the 4. So that will be 20x to the 3, 20x cubed, plus just 3, because the derivative of 3x is just 3. And that's it. So I won't expand it because that would be a waste of time. Hopefully nobody's offended by that. So I have the derivative of this guy is just 2 times 5x to the 4 plus 3x times 20x cubed plus 3. Okay, how about number 2? Okay, whenever I see a radical, I like to see it instead as the power of half, just because it makes it simpler for me to see things. So that's the power of half. And the outside function, in this case, f of x, is just going to be x to the half. And g of x, of course, is the inside function, which is 3x to the 4 plus sine x. Oops. Let's pretend there's an n here. Okay, anyways. So the derivative of the outside function, I can just use the power rule, bring the half down below, and subtract 1 from the half and get negative half, right? Great. Except for the fact that, of course, I should be plugging the g of x for this x instead. So half bracket 3x to the 4 plus sine x to the power of negative half. So I hope that made sense to everyone. I just basically took the derivative of the outside function, which is x to the half, making it half here, taking the 1 out of the half, and keeping the inside function, which is the g of x, untouched inside. Now I'm going to actually multiply this by the derivative of g of x, which would be a little bit simpler. Of course, the derivative of 3x to the 4 is 12x cubed. If that doesn't make sense to you, please review the power rule, which is not too bad. And the derivative of sine of x is just cos of x. So I'm just going to simplify this slightly, but we already basically have the answer. And I'm just going to write it as 12x cubed plus cos of x all over 2 root of 3x to the 4 plus sine x. Oh god, my handwriting is horrible today. Hopefully it makes sense to you guys. Sine of x. So basically, because the power of negative half is just a root, a radical on the bottom of the fraction, and the 2 goes also to the bottom, and here we are. Hopefully that made sense to everyone. If not, please take a look at a couple more videos. Either way, thank you for watching.